Welcome to Baseball Blueprint, your home for all things player development.
All right, guys, we're going to take a look at some highlight plays, figure out how the players actually got to the positions to make the play, just a little bit of behind the scenes into what the bodies are doing prior to the camera swing that we see on like a live broadcast. So this first play, we've got Baez. We'll watch the play first, take a look at it. Let me turn up some volume so you can hear it. There we go.
Shot up the middle, diving.
Jeez.
Baez throws to first. Oh man!
It's pretty unreal.
Oh,
Look at that angle.
ball was by him.
Diving backwards.
And Baez laid out. Somehow
Crazy.
gloved it with a backhand on one.
Now let me see.
Stopped by Baez.
Where were we at here?
Shot up the middle, diving.
We're not too far away from where. If he's right over, maybe. Let's see where he's at. Let's take a look at the 3D version. That throw was unreal. That was nuts. Let's see where he's playing. Pretty over top. Now Baez, from what I've seen in the past, is a pretty stationary. He's a grounded mover, is the way I like to categorize him. Kind of like a Chapman, just kind of sinks into his legs. So here he goes. Now this is at 1/4 speed. Obviously, we can see the slow motion the pitcher's delivering here. Sorry about all the lights in the background. With the higher quality, you get the faces and stuff, but I need to see where the feet go. It's pretty impressive. Coming across his body on the throw. Unreal. Okay, let's look at something here. There's contact. Maybe a little after contact. By the time he's crossing over, he's trying to make his crossover move. This ball's almost out of the infield. Isn't that wild? This ball's hitting here, so he creates space back. I mean, that's unreal. And then the throw. Super cool. What a crazy play. Let's look at something similar to where we got a diving play, and here we go. What is this? Oh, that's a steal. Let's save that for the end. Here we go. Lindor. Not quite a diving play, but we're still ranging to the right. I believe this play is where he goes to home with it. Let's check it out. We'll watch it live and see what we can find.
Breaking ball bounce towards third. What a play by Lindor.
Jeez. That's so cool.
Absolutely fabulous play by Francisco Lindor.
We can see the post-contact prep step there too. Look. Watch the feet. It's a little float. Look at that throw, man. He's throwing off the wrong foot too. And he's still got the ball there. Okay, so it looked to me like there's a slight momentum gain towards his right. Let's check and see if we're correct there. I might be wrong. The 3D, we have a better idea of where we're at. But I thought I saw a slight movement here, just slight, like this foot getting to there, right? Let's see if that's what we're seeing here. There's an apex, left, right, up. Yeah, just slight. Nothing heavy. We'll watch that again. Left. Notice the angle of the legs. Yeah, just slight. It's a great shape he makes to accelerate. Usually we want to throw this ball off our left foot, but he's just getting it airborne. Jeez. Cause him to spin, turn into a back pedal. That's unreal. That's so cool. Again, taking a look at the prep step technique. We're airborne there. The ball's been hit. We're airborne. We're landing with our left. Our right foot's opening up to take us that way. There's our brace. Look at the shin angle we make. Dorsiflex. It's a great shin angle for acceleration. And this ball's way closer too. We can see in reference than where Baez's ball was. Now, hit at different speeds, obviously, but this is still really, really impressive. And then to finish, we want to throw this off our left foot as right-handed players. Lindor just exchanges it, and he just happens to be on his... Actually, we want to throw it off our left foot. He throws it off his right foot, and it turns him. It's crazy. We do part of that in our athletic throwing progression, which If you haven't watched any of my previous videos with BJE, you'll probably see something like that in there. But very, very cool. Okay. So 2 different types of movers in terms of prep step. 2 different kinds of plays as well. This ball wasn't hit the same way that Baez's ball was hit. The finishes were both equally awesome. So let's take a look at something else here. Okay, this play's unreal. I remember I was watching a highlight of this the next day, and I was just blown away. And so I wanted to see the technique. Yeah, and I think the situation of the game in itself, like, we'll watch it here, but an unreal play. Boom. Ball's crushed. This angle was crazy to make this move at. I mean, what are we doing here? Oh my gosh.
Took a great route to that baseball. Any full step, any extra movement or extra
That route was really good, and I think this is one of the plays where, again, different kind of mover in Freelick than most, but I think there was a little bit of an internal struggle with me trying to figure out what techniques I would want to teach, or what I would be comfortable with teaching to outfielders. And I think in my gut, I wanted to be teaching a post-contact move similar to what we saw in the infield, right? But there are so many different setups and techniques and working on slides in terms of coverage, stuff like that. Watch what Freelick does. Actually, let's do this. We'll watch his full technique back. Okay, that was full speed. Now we'll slow it down. We'll show you the technique and then the direction change. And then we'll go to contact, and we'll see where he's at at contact. So right, left, a very Varsho-esque prep step with a split stance. Sees flight. It looks like the ball is there as he's landing, but we're not sure, so we'll confirm that in a second. Oh, man, look at that. Instead of rolling big banana turn to his right, it's just a quick hop step, and he's out. If I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe this was like an 85% chance of being a hit, which is crazy. Let's find contact. Okay, here we go. So we're going to pause this at contact, and then we're going to swing over to Freelick and see where he's at. That's pretty close, y'all. That's pretty close. Let's see where he's at here. So he's getting his move just after contact. He's starting his move just after contact. I'm assuming he's probably trying to be on contact here. So here, this is way post-contact his landing. But again, we've talked about in the outfit. We want to be a little bit later with the post-contact landing. But look at the angle he sets. Oh my gosh. So now if we take this angle here and we made a beeline, it's going to pretty much line up to where the ball is. Look at this. I mean, the route corrections are fairly minimal. He's getting a little bit of depth here, a little bit of depth, a little bit of depth. But you got to get a little lucky with that too in terms of the ball flight. But there's not a whole lot of change in direction there, which is crazy. That's just a super efficient route, super fast first step, like 10 out of 10 play. That was a pretty electric play, to be honest with you, watching it live. So live on the replay, I should say, because that replay was bottom of the ninth. You know what I mean? Saves an extra base hit. Here's one. We got Cedric Mullins, who's a burner. Let's see if his technique's similar to Freelick. So let's look at the play first.
2-2. And Farmer hits a line drive sailing away from Mullins.
That's unreal.
Impossible catch.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Tip your cap, Cole Irvin. Tip your cap, everybody.
Look at that.
Cedric Mullins insane at center.
So crazy.
Kidding me? There's no way he can get to this ball. He's saying the right center field, but lay out, Cedric. My gosh, you won't see a better play maybe this entire week.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's look and see what he did to get there. I haven't looked at Mullins much from a technique perspective, so this ought to be good. Okay. There we go. Why is this Buxton? Oh, please don't tell me they didn't get it on 3D. This happens sometimes. So again, a glitch in the system. So this should be this should be Mullins. They just have the name wrong because the teams got flipped around. Let's see if it actually is him. We'll know because of the diving play. But let's see. Yeah, I think they missed it. Oh, that is tough. And it happens. It happens. It's not a perfect system. Man, I really would have loved to see how he gets his start, see what kind of route corrections he's making, stuff like that. All right, last thing here. Let's go to our base running clip here. So for those of you who are wondering about like new school leads and new school techniques, and you're wanting to see what kind of jumps people are getting. Well, this is a play where Bader got thrown out, but this is a really close play. I think this is still a fine shot to take, but if we're trying to evaluate the jump in itself, I'll show you what we're looking at here. So here's Bader. He's starting a really good footage. I guess this is almost textbook. Reach step, center of mass drop here, and he's sinking into his left foot. Now, at this point, this pitcher's leg is at peak, right? We want this foot to be landing when his foot is starting to take off, like down here. Full speed. Bader's just starting his vault. He's just starting to get lateral when that foot moves. That's a lot of people rate their jumps on like a scale 1 to 5. I usually just say this is like a B jump, C jump. Like this isn't something we necessarily want to, like a 2-0 count, like rip it. No, we're not gonna do that here. But this is a 2-2 count, I believe. In a situation where you got Beatty, you can trust him. You're thinking you're gonna see something that's a little bit slower. Let's take a shot here. And it ends up being a close play anyway. But we can see that left foot, we want that left foot landing right about there at the start of his delivery. That's not what we're seeing here, right? So if you can get set up into that move that early, that means you're probably, we would call this late. Being late, because the pitcher went before us, before we could get out to our footage and hit it clean, right? And so what Bader does that we could use as a demo for like a really good time play, we still want to get that foot turned, right? Notice how the foot doesn't land, this foot lands square, this foot doesn't. We're opening up towards second base. We are still going to do that if we're on time, right? We're not going to land square. We're going to try to set an angle a little bit steeper than this, but that's just how Bader moves. And you'll watch, like, it's a high fastball. Essentially, it's a pitch out. Now, there's a swing there that might bother the catcher, but it doesn't really bother him much in this standpoint. And now, from that angle, it looks like Bader's safe. He ends up being out. They call him safe. They call him safe here. But I believe, let's confirm here. Yeah, overturned. Overturned. So let's watch the video back. We might not be able to watch Bader's angle. Yeah.
There goes Bader.
And even still, like this play doesn't look like he's getting out to a good footage. That footage there is like with his left foot at maybe 9-8, 10 feet, which isn't great, right? So we really want that left foot somewhere around 11.5. Now, what can we do to find that data out? Well, we take Little's name. We go to Baseball Savant. Or Littell. I don't know how to pronounce a lot of these guys' names. Here we go. He holds runners pretty well from his net bases prevented. +2. Now we're going to look for Bader, which is right here. Bader was at 8.5. 8.5 at the pitcher's first move. He gained 13.5. He got out to 22 at pitch release, which usually is a really good sign. If we can get out past 21 at pitch release, then we're a decent runner. That gives us, more often than not, a stolen base, which we saw how perfect that throw had to be to get him out. But again, we can always, there's always better, and I think using that thought process helps clean some, intentionality stuff around it, like when to run, when not to run. This is a fine time to run. This is a fine time to run. I don't mind this. I think, to be honest with you, let's watch this really closely. If he goes in hard head first, right there, right? If he just goes in hard through the base, not with his feet, but like head first slide through the body, right?
Strike 3.
Instead of just getting to the edge. Watch his hand. His body, his foot, and his body turn sideways here instead of staying linear. He's crunched his center of gravity up, which really, really kills his acceleration, because now he's given a more of a sideways drift, trying to avoid a tag. If he just goes in hard, like that's close as it is, imagine if he just goes in hard as he can, straight through. He's probably beating the timing of that play, instead of just like getting to it and then peeling up it.
Lifts the bag, although you see he's safe.
Let's watch it again. See?
And that might have been wrong.
Do we see the body?
Cash is going to
This is a great angle.
Play.
There. See how the legs turn in? Now, we need to do that when we create space to the edge. Bader's not creating space here. He's just sliding to the outside part of the base of his hand. To create space, you don't want your arm angle forward. You want it to the side, which he doesn't do here. It's a hell of a tag.
Cash is going to challenge this.
Buddy beat the play.
That's pretty fast.
And that might have been wrong.
Very
Lightning
close.
quick tag.
Might have been wrong. But you saw the lead.
We can see in how he gets to here, right? See how this leg's crunched and this leg's extended? If he keeps velocity, just goes in hard, he might beat this. It'd be close, man. That was an incredible tag
I think on that, it
for
looks
starters.
Like the glove hit the mid before the mid hit the bag.
It's pretty impressive.
Replay operator.
All right, guys. Those are just some fun plays that I found and I thought were pretty interesting. And there's always other stuff to look at too, right? So whatever you guys want to look at, and here's for example, you can just scroll through game day and find things out. So here's that force out from Lindor that we saw earlier, right? Super cool. But we can look at techniques. We can look at a lot of different stuff. So here's one where if the question is, oh, I wonder what the Rays are doing prep step wise, right? What are they teaching? What are they doing in practice? Where are the angles they're setting with their feet, right? Well, I can go here. I can see what Palacios is doing. This ball's going to get to hit to him. So we're watching it. Notice the feet angle. More in line with the baseline than home plate. Not quite perfectly lateral, but more in line with the baseline than the batter. Airborne. Right at him, so he didn't need to open up. Drop to a knee, probably not ideal. Airborne. Pretty low, pretty hunched over, right? I think that's one thing too. We can, if we want to nitpick, right? Where he's landing at, boom, there's contact. Look at the shoulders. Look how tilted his torso is. It's probably about, I would say, 60-degree angle in comparison with the ground. So if we're at 60 degrees, right, this is probably something I want to see a little bit more of a corner infielder, like someone who's playing tight, right? Whereas like if it's a shortstop, we want to be a little bit taller, right? This is Caballero at contact. Now he's a little bit out of readiness position, it looks like to me, but we'll watch him in slow motion here. Look where he's landing. Super upright with his torso. That allows us to get over our hips differently, a little bit quicker, a little bit cleaner. Now, if we're returning to a base from like a leadoff, I think we probably need to be a little more tilted. Like reactionary movements, like straight down at angles, we want more tilt. But something like this, I like this for ranging guys in the infield. And again, if we're tighter, right? If we're limiting that range, right, we're gonna see more tilt, stuff like that. So, awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure to check out our communities on Twitter, or X, I guess I should say, our infield-based stealing communities. And like and subscribe. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.